Now, here's a story that may get you thinking, because grieving families across our region are being left thousands of pounds out of pocket after inheriting retirement or assisted living properties they can't live in, sell or afford to maintain.
So many are still being charged full council tax, service charges and ground rent years after their loved ones died. Chloe Oliver's been speaking to a woman who's been struggling to sell her mother's retirement flat, and she faces fees of £500 every month that passes.
Well, for her, it was perfect because she had an unpredictable illness. She had multiple sclerosis. So the fact that this kind of retirement property offered on-site restaurant, help when you need it, help with cleaning, it was absolutely ideal.
When Charlotte's mother, Carol, moved into her retirement flat, it seemed the obvious decision. But after her death, Charlotte was faced not just with the grief of losing her mother, but with an ever-growing debt in her absence. She inherited her retirement home, along with its eye-watering service charge.
I can't move on. I can't put closure to losing my mum, because every day I need to fight this battle.
Carol died in May last year, but Charlotte says she hasn't been able to sell the property due to the amount of new retirement homes being built and buyers being put off by the rising ground rents. Charlotte has accrued £10,000 just in service charges. That's monthly fees for cleaning, heating, water, maintenance and staffing for an empty flat. The Homeowners Alliance is calling on the government to reform the sector and force retirement home companies to become more transparent.
The big one is, or unexpected costs, is deferment fees or exit fees. So you'll have to pay a percentage when you actually sell the property. But there's also things like service charges, which can go uncapped, and that can be a bit of a shock when you go to sell and you're still having to pay them. There needs to be more reform. There needs to be regulation. In particular, when you sell the properties, the housing providers needs to take responsibility for it.
At this solicitors in Bristol, they say families should first liaise with the retirement home company to see what can be done.
First thing is for families is to contact the people who manage the property, see if they can negotiate perhaps a reduction in the service charge given there's nobody there, or see if they can negotiate to pay the service charge or anything outstanding when the property is eventually sold, so that those payments come out of the sale proceeds. But the short answer really is that they may have to lower the price.
Back in the 80s.
Charlotte is one of hundreds carrying the load of retirement properties they didn't buy themselves, and now they can't afford, can't live in and can't sell on.
It sickens me that companies are getting away with doing that. And that's why I'm going to continue with this. I'm going to continue hearing other people's stories and putting a stop to this awful thing that's going on right in front of our faces.
Chloe Oliver, ITV News.